Today, we're going to go in depth in a few use cases with Claude Cowork, things that you can use in the daily. I know it has some really cool capabilities. It just levels up the chat function to the next level. It's not just starting a conversation, it's actually taking action and making a difference in your day. So let's take a look at how we can do that. But first, let's talk a little more about what Claude Cowork is. So essentially, we had chat being ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, any of the LLMs. We started with a chatbot. And now our chatbot has learned enough about us and it has the ability to become our autonomous employee. So it's like having a personal assistant or a virtual assistant or an analyst. If you have a lot of that to do, you can train it to basically become your work buddy and do a lot of repetitive tasks that can be easily standardized for you. What is the difference here? Unlike the chatbots, Claude Cowork has direct access to your computer files. It has access to your desktop, your downloads, documents, and it uses connectors to interact with apps like Gmail, calendar, and social media tools to complete tasks autonomously. There goes your assistant. It has access to your files that are saved on your computer. It also has a really cool capability called skills, which is what actually levels it up above a chatbot. Essentially, skills act as custom SOPs, sharing your brand voice and preferences for consistent results. This is where, if a lot of people say, oh, AI is, slop, it's always the same thing, it's so easy to recognize. Well, by putting in skills, you're making it your own. Today, we're going to create a skill together, something to do with Hormozi-style marketing and copy and content creation that I want to apply to my content. So we have skills, we have connectors that we integrate with different apps. Instead of you having to go into your Gmail, Claude will do it for you. And now you go to task execution with Cowork, and then if you ever get to code, you can start programming and creating your own apps, which is really cool. I've done a few websites now, a portfolio tracking app, and I'm going to keep building. So if you're even mildly curious about building your own apps, it's a lot easier to start than you think. So some high impact use cases of Claude Cowork will be like personal email assistant, scheduling daily briefings that summarize unread emails and identify urgent blockers. Just even briefing you, prepping you for meetings is really useful. It saves you time because it's automated. And then it can organize your files. Lord knows my downloads needed it. I already organized it, but we can do my desktop too. And in fact, I can ask it for every future file I download that after 24 hours, it gets classified in a particular system. We can create that, instruction and tell it to keep coming back to that instruction through a skill over and over again instead of having to start over and telling it over and over the instructions. You can also manage your social media, creating content. That's something I want to do today. I want to create some assets, some lead generating assets. So that's what we'll do once we install the Alice Hormozi skill. Okay, so let's get into Claude Cowork. Once you're subscribed to the cheapest plan, which is $20 a month, I think if you're just using Cowork, you're not doing code, you're good with the $20 a month, you shouldn't run out. And then you go to the supportcloud.com and you download your version of Cowork because it's a desktop app that's actually able to communicate with your computer. So then you downloaded it, and then we are going to open Cowork now in applications. It's up here. Claude. You'll see up here, you can toggle between chat, which is exactly like ChatGPT, Cowork, and code. I don't usually use code here. I use it off a different UI, a different application, but it's all here. Now, today we're going to go to Cowork, and you see I've already played around with it. I have all these tasks that are currently active that I've created, but let's start today by walking you through a little bit what's happening here, and then we're going to start on a project. Starting a task, as usual, you can click in here or here. You can search for your notes if you're like me and you have so many. We had all those tasks in here, set up daily morning briefing, March 24 weekly solar industry news, etc. So these are all under scheduled. And these are daily tasks or weekly or monthly, whatever you need. Right now, I have a few different ones that I set up. I had a daily briefing, just this is for my emails. It's super useful. Actually, let me show you what it looks like. Daily briefing, if I say edit it, it's basically summarize my calendar inbox every morning. At 7 a.m., look at my calendar for the day, research relevant emails and notes for the contact, and prepare notes for the meeting that you email me. Not in drafts, but in my inbox. I had to say this because for whatever reason, I did put the email in my drafts, but not email it to me. I did have to use a connection here. So I did need the connector for calendar, so it can go look in my calendar. And I needed the connector for Gmail, so it can send me an email. I received this email this morning. It's in French, but it basically is like morning brief for my job. I have a meeting at 10:30 to 11 with these people. It gave me context. It gave me a background research about the company, then some discussion points and some things to remember. Super helpful. Love this. Imagine if I have like 5 meetings a day, it would be so extra useful, but even just summarizing this one meeting was super, super useful. So love this, highly recommend if you're someone who has meetings to prep for, that you set up this daily briefing task. And it will run every morning. And of course, here you can see you can delete it if you want. You can edit it. You can run it now. It will run again at 7 a.m. tomorrow. All right, so that's scheduled. And you can see how you can do this. Just add a task, name it, and go from there. Projects. This is just to organize your work. Instead of having all of these like different searches, it's way better to just have things organized in projects. I'm not the best at it, but I will today because we're going to do a little project. And then dispatch is the ability to pair your mobile Claude application on your phone with the desktop. And so you can actually control from your phone. Let's say you're at the gym and you want to tell Claude to do something on your computer. As long as your computer is on, then you can send Claude a message and it will do it. Now, this is really cool. Please definitely come here. Ideas. You have all the different kind of workflows. You can turn documents into a presentation, build a prospect list, plan user research. It could be really anything. Plan a trip, catch up on what I missed. I should probably try this one. It looks really cool. Generate brand guidelines, generate weekly prep brief. So there's just so much here. Just go through it. Then you can also see the plugins that are already out here. They're created by Anthropic to simplify our life. They're very generic, but it's better to create your own skills, because plugins come from Anthropic, but skills can be created by anyone, and customize your skills, because then it makes it really your own. So it removes that AI is like boring and repetitive and all the same, because we are customizing it into our own requirements and voice and style. And then customize is really important. This is where connectors and skills are. And this is what, by customizing Claude, you make it Cowork, you make it your own. So you come here and there's connectors. I already have these ones connected. So that's why I can do the daily briefing for my email and calendar. And if I want more, I can browse. You can see all the different connectors. In fact, I wanted to look up Apify. Yeah, there's an Apify MCP server. I'm going to install this. This is cool. Apify is basically like a scraping tool. Extract data from any website using thousands of tools from the Apify store, world's largest marketplace of tools for web scraping, data extraction, and web automation. So this is useful if I want to see what my competitors or the people I want to emulate in my social media, for example. I want to see what they're doing. I really want to simplify how quickly and easily I copy content. So at first, that's how you really grow, is by copying content. Just want to make that as easy as possible. So I'm going to play around with Apify at some point. So I'm going to install it. Okay. That's happening. That's one example for what I wanted to add, but there's lots here. And then we look at plugins. Like I said, these are plugins that are kind of like skills, but they come from Anthropic. They're already pre-made and therefore they're very generic. But I did want to add one. I think it's called Apollo. Prospect, enrich leads, and load outreach sequences with Apollo IO one-click MCP server integration for Claude Code and Cowork. So I've installed it. I haven't played around with it yet, but these are the skills that it comes with: enrich lead, prospect, and sequence load. So I can play around with those if I want to. And in fact, I will probably play around with this because I have a prospect list and we can actually see what this does. And now we get to skills. Basically, skills are the plugins that are more customized written by different people. It could be written by Anthropic. It could be written by me, you, anybody. I already have skills added here. I have Theme Factory. We definitely need to add Skill Creator to your skills because it allows you to create skills, which is what you want. Canvas design, sales leads, proposal writer is a skill I created. And there's some built-in skills like schedule, setup, cowork, and context. You click over it, guided cowork setup, install a matching plugin, try a skill, connect tools. So this is actually a guided onboarding for cowork. Schedule. Create a scheduled task that can be run on demand, like we saw here. Okay. Now you can search for skills or you can browse skills and you can create skills. Now I want to create a skill, but before that, I do want to run an existing plugin. So I have the Apollo, let's see, enrich lead. Now I'm going to give it a file. I have this prospects file. Let's start with this and add lead. Let's see what it does. So I've basically given it a list of prospects. I've asked it to look up the company and associated contact in the attached companies tab, enriching it, writing a custom cold reach out email message. So now it's doing the work. And in the meantime, while it's doing this, let's give it a few minutes. Sometimes it can take time depending on what you're doing. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at creating a skill. So you can create a skill on your own, or you can find an existing skill that you want to install to Claude Code. It's a lot faster. So I was looking for a Hormozi-style marketing skill for Claude. So I found this guy who already has on GitHub. We can go and copy that code and share it. And so a lot of people are creating skills on GitHub. This skill is for Claude Code campaigns, funnel, ad copy, persona, positioning, go-to-market, etc., etc. And it's based on Alex Hormozi's style. I usually come here where it says code and I copy this. Let's see what's happening here. Your company's tab has 35 name contacts across 2 sections. Each enrichment is how many would you like me to enrich? Let's do top 5 first. ROI, definitely. French. Okay, so it asked me a few clarifying questions just to make sure that we don't go overboard. In the meantime, we're going to start a project on Hormozi-style. So when you start, you can start from scratch, setting up a new folder. I recommend this. Import a project. So if you already have something from the chat, you can search in the chat that you've discussed. To be honest, that's how I started my projects, especially when I built my 2 websites in Claude Code. I started by going in the chat, figuring out my brand identity, project requirements, and then from there, I created it. So this is a very common pathway, or use an existing folder. So I'll start from scratch. I'll call it Hormozi-style marketing. So drop files here to browse. For now, we don't have any files, but we can add them. And it's going to go under Documents, Claude Projects. I would like to create a skill called Hormozi-style with this GitHub repository. So it's doing it. In the meantime, let's see what's happening with the enrich leads. Okay, I need an MCP connector. So yeah, I need to pay for Apollo. So now instead of Apollo's connector, it's using web research to do it. And it's asking you for access, which makes sense. Just make sure that if you're not too comfortable, don't give it access to passwords and things like that. So now it's almost done. Let's take a look here. What is happening? I'll help you create a skill from that GitHub repo. Let me start by fetching the repo contents. Okay. Again, we have to give permissions. So this might come up. It's the same in Claude Code. You have to give permission because it is interacting with your local computer. So you do want to make sure that that is set up and that it has access in order to do its job. Now it's looked up all the skill information from GitHub and it's doing it. It's going to clone the repo. It's going to take some time. It's enriched the leads for the top 5. It's already given me a file. Let's take a look. Okay, perfect. These are some of the biggest ones. It's giving us like different developments, recent news, a personalized angle when you're selling a certain project. Okay, this is great. This is way more information. I usually just look up perplexity and okay. So you see how it went in the file, it read what it needed to read, found the information, returned clean data. Beautiful. As someone who used to be a business analyst and spent so much time on doing this kind of data manipulation and analysis, what it's doing right now saved me like hours and hours every day and at least 15 hours a week. Now, one cool thing you can always do is ask it, okay, thanks. All right, it's been a few minutes, but now we're set. Let me read all the files. I have all the content. The skill directory is ready only in Bash to create the files directly. Let's see, does it work? No, it's not ready yet. So I want to be able to, whenever I do / I see all the skills here. So the skill's not ready yet because if I come here, there's no Hormozi style. If I start typing, I should be able, there's nothing. So I want that ability. Give me ideas for lead magnets and offers funnels to run ads for. Okay, so you see here, the file is here now. On the side here, on the right, we see the progress of what's happening. So we're halfway through the process. Free tool, lead magnet strategy, output standards. So lead magnet hierarchy, calculators, graders, generators, highest conversion. This is great. This is what I wanted. It talks about LinkedIn ads, ad copy formula. I want 10 ad versions to test and associated lead magnets and funnels. Okay, while the skill is now finally committed to memory of my Claude code, and it's still now doing what I asked it, which was to give me 10 different ad funnels and lead magnets associated. So while it's doing that, knowing my website and my business, I also want to set up another thing. So let's go and schedule a task to clean up my desktop. Computer cleanup. Maybe not daily, maybe we'll do weekly. Monday, Sunday at 9 a.m. I said desktop allow. Downloads allow. So let's take a look. So we can do it one at a time. So right now this is downloads. My downloads. Every week. One Sunday at 9 a.m. Okay, so I have this one. In fact, I should rename it. It should be downloads. Okay, you cannot change it. Okay, that's fine. I will call the other one appropriately. So new task, weekly desktop cleanup. So okay, it's created this. Let's see what this document looks like. You can ask it to come back instead of cursor. So it's going to do that, but we can still look at it in the meantime. 10 ad campaigns with lead magnets and funnels. Campaign 1, AI business audit scorecard. Great. People love scorecards. The $0 AI employee toolkit. Love this. People love to pay nothing. AI powered sales machine mini course. Who doesn't want that? This is great. The one person empire blueprint. Love this. I'm definitely going to run ads for this. AI ROI. That's a good one. Steal my AI stack. Love it. These are all great ideas. AI automation challenge. Perfect. I can run all of these. Yeah. I love this. Right now it's creating a beautiful Word doc. I could ask it to also use my company colors and make it nice. In fact, I just earlier created in chat. While this is going on, I can show you and you can make the same thing. I was prepping for a proposal, so it created me a PowerPoint file just now. I played around with it once I opened it and modified it, but it was really no time. It was really no time. So free AI training for deep tech founders. I'm doing a pitch for the RBOT, the Toronto Board of Trade. And it's given me options, knowing me and my business offering. It's giving me options of the kind of talks I can give and then what people will walk away with. It talks about me and my session formats, and this is the final version. I just cleaned it up, took me 10 minutes. I still need to make some small changes, but I added my own picture, and I could have given it a picture too and clean it up a little bit. It took me half an hour to get this perfect 4-page presentation that matches my website colors and my branding. So this is just some of the things you can do in Claude. You can also download this. Up here you can see show in folder, but also it's already saved on our computer. So it's here, computer. This is beautiful. Like you can share this with anybody and they'll already know like what you're about. Love it. I'm going to share this with this guy that I'm going to work with on my ads and I'm going to ask him his thoughts. And I already have this to start with. I love it. Okay, so you see how powerful this is. You see the document here. And if you go to projects, you can see this project we worked on. So it's nice to have projects organized here. Okay, so you can see how to start with Cowork. Don't forget to go through ideas. So much here to play around with. Connectors, plugins, and there's so much you can start with. Like, there's just so many ideas here, and I guarantee you at least 10 of them are going to be relevant to you. So let me know what you think of Cowork. If you played around with it, what are you not, happy with? What are you happy with? What has it made a difference in? What would you like to learn that you still haven't figured out? Or maybe you expected something, but it's actually not there. I would love to know.